Transition. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Hey. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. How we doing? Transition over. How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Yeah. Yeah. I got H&R Block up right now, but today is not so much about H&R Block or just we're just going to do you know we're gonna do just a little preview and update. There's some stuff on the chopping block, so we can there's some stuff on the chopping block, so we can just chat a little bit, etc. etc. Yeah, yeah, but I wanted to put H&R Block out there still. That's just been on my thing, and I'm trying to get my thing right and stuff like that. So we're just gonna work with that for right now. Just it's just a reminder. It's not what's actually happening right now. It's just a reminder that hey, H&R Block is gonna be up for grab sooner or later. So just put that to the side so you can have that in the fire. So you can just like pull that out when you're ready at the end of the year or the beginning of the year. Just kind of watch, pay attention to it as it goes down more and more. So you can ride it going up back when it starts going up back. Come in January, February, or March. But I don't know. I'm not saying to buy, sell, or trade anything. I'm just kind of putting it out there. Anyway, let's keep it going. Got a lot of stuff. EV is just gonna be really. I think that EV is gonna be very interesting, and it's gonna be very interesting what's gonna really happen with EV. I think this is my opinion. So please, I'm not saying someone told me this or I'm not saying you have to believe what I'm saying or any of that. So anyway, this is what I really think about the EV situation. I think once this fogs die down with the economy, you know, once this fogs dies down with the economy, and already I see Chevy is doing EV. You have I think a pickup truck is also EV. Sarah pickup truck from Chevy also. So I also think like it's going to be really interesting because Volvo also building EV, and Ferrari just came out with an EV. It's called Apollo, a prototype. It's a 525. It's a G525. I got to get the facts right on that one, but that's pretty interesting also. So you need to check that out. It's Ferrari has this. I think it's called Mavic air intake. I think it's a G25. I've got to make sure about my so I get the facts right to you, but I'm pretty sure because I just seen it yesterday. So you got to check that. It's called Apollo by Ferrari. You have to check it out. It's really cool. And when you get time, you got to visit Liz Young, and basically Liz Young is a talk about like how how investors are kind of getting scared now. They don't really know what to invest in, and so she's talking about maybe you know saying it's like it's a bearish time right now. So basically, she's saying just like save some money, which is true, but at the same time, you have to if you're an investor, you have that feeling that you have to buy something and you have to get something if you're that kind of individual. Because some individual can be like, okay, I'm gonna put some money aside, and then some other individual is like, they just have that investing or investment mentality where they think, okay, I just have to buy something. So if you have to buy something, basically she's saying like, which would be my opinion also, but it's just my opinion, is you have to look for stores, maybe dollar stores, McDonald's, um, look for business that's going to do good at this time of what's going on, because regardless, the market's going to be, every single thing is going to be red. There are going to be plays there. It's just you have to find it. Anyway, so she's basically saying one other thing that I took where she's saying get into growth stock and stuff like that. But at the bottom, at the last part of her close to the very end of her video, she says like, remember the stock market. Remember the stock market will bottom before the economy. So that kind of stood out to me where she's talking about that. So visit Liz Young. She's like the head investment strategist for SoFi. I remember last year, earlier, not last year, but earlier in the year, SoFi was also doing awesome. I think SoFi was somewhere close to $20 or more. But you know, these things happen with technology because at this time of the year, and really what's going on with inflation and everything, if you really think about it, it's not, you know, that's why maybe iPhone is probably struggling a little bit because, when it comes on to technology at this time with what's going on, you're not going to buy so much. You're going to put food first. There's certain things that you're going to put first, but I don't know. I'm just putting it out there so you can play with it, whichever way you choose to. Anyway, so check Liz Young out. She did her. I was listening to her yesterday. I think she did awesome with breaking down what her thoughts was, and I guess from being a strategist, it's not just you're gonna like individual like those have a lot of different um, ins and outs. So their knowledge are growing massively with different experience that if I have to deal with to being an investment strategist for SoFi. Anyway, I don't know. SoFi could be a buy. You have to check it out. Yeah. SoFi could be a buy. Could that's what should be doing, like pumping. But I'm not saying buy, sell, or trade any of this. One thing I do want to say too, though, you can follow me on Twitter. It's Tasman Byfield. You can follow me on Instagram as Taz Byfield. You can follow me on Snapchat as Taz-BYF Byfield, and on Facebook as Tasman Byfield. Also, my clothing store, which is just hoodies and t-shirts for right now. It's called FRESHTEADESIGN.com. Again, it's called FRESHTEADESIGN.com. I want you to go there. I want you to start shopping for the Christmas or for your birthday or for your relative or someone that you just care about. I don't know, but visit my website. It's called FRESHTEADESIGN.com. Again, and my YouTube channel. You have to, show me some love. It's Fresh Tea Design. Start giving me one like. One like be okay. I can work with one like, because then I might get a million likes after that one like. Anyway, I keep it moving. Disney. I think Disney's about to raise their food and theme park. You know, venues and stuff. So look out for when you go to Disney that you might going to be paying a little bit more. So just prepare for that. And I think Royal Caribbean also have raised or raising or have raised their prices also. So if you're thinking about traveling this coming up season, whether it's Thanksgiving, whether it's Christmas, I don't know, New Year's, I don't know, whatever you plan on doing, like I said earlier yesterday too, the post office also going to be charging a little bit more for packages. I don't know about UPS nor FedEx as yet, but look forward to these things. Um, So I'm just putting it out there, just trying to look forward to these things before you leave out for traveling and before you go to the post office. You be like, oh man, I just have this amount because I do that sometimes, man. I just have this, like, be prepared to have a little extra when you go into the post office if you need to send something to your family and friends abroad or wherever. Again, we said it yesterday. Remember to do your conversion rate prior to traveling, remember to do that. Remember to go to your bank, your local bank. Maybe a savings bank is probably going to be a little bit more challenging to get that kind of, to get your conversion rate, to get more information about your conversion rate. Maybe your, the savings bank, maybe banks like Wells Fargo, Bank of America, maybe but banks like those are going to be a little bit more open-minded about currency conversion. So, so look forward to get your currency converted before you go to the airplane, before you hit the airport. Because, like I said, I love the airport because you can get like everything at the airport. It's like once you leave your home and get to the airport, it's like you're at a different place. It's like your trip already started, even when you're waiting in the line. That's 200 people is in it, and you at the very back. It's like your trip starts right there. once you once you get in the taxi or the car that's going to take you to the airport, it feels like your trip just started right there. It feels like you're already in the plane. Furthermore, once you get to the airport, it's like you're in the plane. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. If you want to run with it, do whatever you like with it, you can do so. Anyway, but it's a good feeling to travel regardless. Just get your money converted. And like I said, small banks, say small saving banks, you have to check with them prior. But Wells Fargo and Bank of America and First Citizens probably are more likely and open-minded about the conversion rate and etc. If you can buy your currency through them at a lower price than you get at the airport. I love the airport. You can get your snacks for the plane flight at the airport. So I'm not gonna say anything like, but you can get your snacks and your drink and your coffee before you board the flight. Anyway, just make sure you get your money converted. And next thing is, I think JetBlue was bidding to buy out Spirit Airline somewhere down there line. So you got to check that out. There's a lot going on with that one still with Spirit and JetBlue and Spirit one and JetBlue wanting to buy out Spirit Airline. So maybe they want to get that. They wanted to get it in and over before the holiday season starts because it's going to be a very interesting winter. Not only it's possibly going to be cold, but once the feds and soften it up a little bit, and we can actually go out and play, then it's gonna be a lot's going on. So be prepared. But what's even more exciting to me about what's about to happen is how long the conversion and what they're gonna do with digital currency. To me, that's really, really excited to see what really is going to happen. And what else is really exciting is how to see the EV race is going to go. That's going to be super interesting to me. And to see where we're going with fuel and the two roads that we're going to merge on, if one with fuel, one with EV, and those are going to be in the battery city, right? The battery situation. So it'd be unique if I don't know yet. I would have to do the check into it to see how much lithium battery plants we have here in America are we working to build or construct or manufacture. I don't know how much of those batteries we are making here, but I know a few. I don't know how much chip we're making here either, but I know there's a few elsewhere in different parts of the world. Anyway, Those are going to be interesting to me. So let me know what's going to be interesting to you as this new kind of race is set out, and it's going to be very interesting. And we're going to possibly start getting some cheap cars sooner than later. One day we probably will get some cheaper cars sooner than later because there's going to be an overflow. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Just putting it out there. If you want to play with it, you can play with it. It's just, it will be very interesting to see. I think, Ford, General Motors, Tesla, Volvo, all these different big giants are going for it, are going for the they're going for each other's jugular. But I'm not saying this is what's going on. I'm really not saying this is what's going on. I'm just happy to see how technology and how far things have um, have grown, and it's really interesting. Um, it's really interesting. So let's keep that in mind. But where we the retailers are gonna make our fortune is possible with they're gonna need charge point, they're gonna need like charge point, all these charge station, which are right now they're, I think charge point is probably $10 to $15. I'm not so sure what Volt or EV Go is, but all these are cheaper at this very minute. So is Tesla. So is so is Tesla. You know, maybe Neo is also down. And remember, I think they're saying Neo was to get up to $400 a share or 300 and something dollars. That's what I think an analyst had said. And for Tesla is going to rise pretty soon. Lucid Automotive, Lucid Group also, Xpeng, which is Xpeng and Neo is a Chinese EV car. But yeah, those it's going to be interesting. All the charge points, EV Go, charge point, like I said, and there's Volta. There's a few more that I just can't say right off the bat right now. But yeah, those it's gonna be interesting. And the new car that I was talking about, it's called Apollo. Yeah, it's Apollo G25. It's electric and it's a prototype. You have to check it out. It looks good. It's got they say it's have revealed with Maviv ear intake. So with such an in-ear intake, I'm pretty sure it can fly. Not like American airline fly, but possible close. Like, because the more hair it gets inside when you're driving, and the more hair goes in, which the fluid injector pumps more fuel in, and then everything combusts, and then that's how you fly right there. So anyway, and I've got an artist that you need to. She's probably been around for a while. I just run across her the other day. Um, it's Raja Shook. Where it's not your regular hip hop, but it's an hip hop in a different way. It's a different, with her nuggets and her mentality and the way of how she sees the world. So it's Raja Shook. So you have to check that out. Type it in, listen it on YouTube. I don't know. Yeah, I was saying Royal Caribbean price is gonna raise. So if you're going cruising this holiday, you have to take a little bit extra so you can tip you know, pay for extra on the cruise. So check the information out thoroughly before You go. And one more thing you have to do before you have to check about if the country adopt visa or where you're going, if they take visa or they don't take visa. Because if they, because sometimes you can call some airline and they will tell you, oh, you like, hello, you say hello, and like, do, you know, do I need visa for this country? And they'll be like, oh no, you know, and not really checking in. And then when you get to the country and you get off to custom, and custom asks you like, where's your visa? And then you'll be like, well, I, so you don't want to run in a situation like that. And I'm pretty sure there's like a lot of people who have run in situation in that farm where you get, and now you get to the other country, you can't really go and travel around and sightseeing like you really want to. You probably end up on stuck on the boat for the entire trip until they dock at a different port where it don't requires a passport or a visa. I mean, one time you could travel from the States to a lot of the country with just your ID. A lot of that has changed, I think. I'm not so sure if it's the 9/11 situation or if it changed before then. But yeah, you could go to places like all the Caribbean islands with just the US ID. And I'm pretty sure to Canada, I think, with just the ID. Now, I think you're required to have a passport, but I don't know. So you have to check those out. You have to check out to make sure you're clear, because it can be like real challenging when you get to a different country and you have this built up joy of in all these things that you're going to do and you want to do, but somehow you end up getting stuck on the boat the entire trip, which can be very challenging for you, because then you'll be like, you waited on this excursion for over 5, 10 years, I don't know, and then you end up being on the cruise line for a whole week, and our old day is gonna feel like a whole week regardless. But I don't know. I just want you to make sure you got all your paperwork and stuff in order before you go. You check with the airline where you're going. If they require a visa, if a passport can just work, and you have to check with the country sometimes that you're going. If they take a visa, say if you call the airline and the airline you're not so sure, and the airline say, "Oh yes, you don't have to have a visa." Well, if you know you're going to Germany, you call Germany embassy and say, "Hey guys, do you take?" I'm not the embassy, the immigration, and say, "Do you? I need." Do I need to have a visa to come there? Do I need to have a visa to go to France? Do I need to have a visa to go to Trinidad? Do I need to have a visa? Well, I don't know. You have to check those things out before you go, because then you might end up in a situation like I did. But we're not going to get into that. So uh, we're just going to jump past that one, and we'll talk about that one the next time. But anyway, moving on, like with Disney raising, the food and the theme park, so that means, obviously they're getting hit by the the inflation and what's really going on. And Walmart too is fixing to close on stores. And Walmart is a pillar of our community alongside with stores like Ingles and stuff like that. So when you hear stores like those are not just cosmetics or just those are not just cosmetic or clothes. Those are more than you know, just clothes and you know, lumber or those, it's a family that works there and a togetherness with the community as well. So, you know, with the rise of business food is possible, I guess companies are going to find ways to keep their employees. And so instead of, I don't know, it's because maybe if I have employees that I really care about, not really just care about, like if I was like in a situation where it's either if I was in a situation where I have to lay off the employee or I raise the product, I probably would raise the product. You know, I probably would raise the product than lay the employee off. But then again, I don't know if this is the situation. But I would that if I was in such a position, I would I would raise the food costs for sure than to lay off the employee. So I'm not so sure if this like because what possible happens to that we the poorer class don't really and the middle class don't really know or prepared for is we're busy so working so hard day in and day out that we miss the big picture. And when I say the big picture, I'm talking about like we miss see we're gonna pause right there for a minute. I'm gonna come back to that. So let's say you often heard about like how companies don't pay tax and how some people they don't tax. But do you ever think to yourself, why is it? How do they not pay tax? How? How do they not pay tax? See, those are the big picture that we don't see. You know, what do you hear it? You hear and say, oh, they're saying, oh man, um, Arnold Corporation, just hypothetically, Arnold Corporation didn't pay tax on this, and you as a middle class or poor, like you're not really thinking like, how did it not pay tax? Or you maybe think of how they didn't pay tax, but they have the strategy, which is the big picture. See, instead of just instead of just investing in a business, they invest in people that can teach them how not to pay tax. But I don't know. I seriously don't know. So don't take my word for it, okay? I don't know. I don't know. I seriously so I seriously don't know. I think we don't have the money to invest in someone to teach us how to pay less tax. And for instance, say when you go to H&R Block, are they really about help you to get the most for your back? But I don't know. These are questions you have to ask yourself. These are things you have to think about. So you know, back to what I was saying, like with John Brown Corporation or Elder don't pay tax. So one of the ways I think they do it is say, for instance, well, you got to invest in somebody to teach you the ropes of how to slide, to not to slide, but to survive in that area, in that, you have to learn like everything else. Because once I guess you start acquiring that amount of wealth, when if you make 10,000 and have to pay 3,000 in taxes, and then maybe another 3,000 in labor, and then another 2,000 in in equipment and whatever. Maybe that money kind of breaks down. It looks into us a lot, but then when it breaks down and then $3,000 tax comes out of it, then it maybe reduces down to somewhat a little bit. So that's how probably they have to cut the edges. But I don't know. But one of the situation is if you make $10,000, if you make $10,000 and you have to pay tax on it, it probably run about $2,500 out of that $10,000. Now, if you put yourself back in debt within the same year, that's one of the way I think, but I don't know. You avoid paying tax is like, so now you had made, I don't know, 10,000 this year. And when you make 10,000, then you have to pay $3,000 in tax. But then instead of spend the $3,000 back in tax, you use $4,000 to put yourself back into debt. So now you don't really have a tax because you don't have the money, because you're in debt then. But I don't know. Listen, I really don't know. So, but that's the big picture. But I don't know. I really don't know. So don't take my word for it. I am not saying buy, sell, or you have to do this kind of situation or this kind of stuff. I'm just putting it out there that the big picture. We can see the big picture. We cannot see the big picture. And if we can see the big picture, we can't do much about it. And I guess that's why you vote. And that's how, because for instance, a company with this inflation that's coming on, the big picture, they could see this coming already with the inflation and everything. They could see this since last year. They could see this 3 years ago coming. We didn't see it because we're too busy. We're so busy with other stuff, but they saw it 3 years ago. They probably saw it 5 years ago. But so if you have a friend in government and then you have a friend down here and you have a friend down here, and so, things leak. So companies would know prior to start. There's some company that get left back in the dark, because some company would be like, okay, I need to raise my stuff right now before the inflation starts. So they get a little, I need not to start ordering so much supplies because inflation is going to come in. There has to be, that insight of really what's going on, like prior to now. Then when it happens right now, it's just like companies are scrambling for, what do we do? We're going to lay off a bunch of people. We're going to lay off a bunch of people. We're going to have to raise the food price up, and all these different factors. But I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, we're just, it's just for Disney, what they're doing and raising the food and stuff like that. I'm not so sure if it's because of the instead of them laying off people, instead of them laying off a lot of people, instead of they putting a lot of people out of jobs and stuff like that. If you have to choose, it would be best to raise the food price. And even so, all the food items are getting expensive also. And just to carry the food with the oil and the energy system is also going to play a factor in that as well. But when EV eventually comes in, then what will happen then? How much will we be paying more? Will it be more or less? Will it with the dependency of oil and all this stuff, how much will we be paying? I don't know. But like I said, I don't know. So, just look into these and have fun with the information, and make sure that you're getting ready for Christmas, and so we can and Thanksgiving we can eat a lot of turkey, and we can eat a lot of rice and peas and Jamaican food, and Mexican food, some tortillas, and all this lovely food that was just going to be everywhere. I want to go to everybody's house and just start eating their food too. But anyway, that's besides the point. We are Chevy, the Chevy EV. Think Chevy EV Bolt. I think it's called Bolt. There's Volvo, the C40 Volvo, a Longique EV. Or you have to check out the Apollo. The Apollo from Ferrari is, oh, it's nice. And it's a prototype. It's a G25. It's Apollo G25. It's electric prototype with a Mavi ear intake. So we have to find out what the Mavi is. If it's just constantly pushing so much air, because then that means you're gonna fly like American airline. Anyway, you have to check out the Apollo. Like I said, visit YouTube, Liz Young, and visit my website and start ordering some hoodie. It's at FRESHTEADESIGN.com. It's I get my transfers through Transfer Express, and I order my stuffs at times through Shirt Space. They've got hoodies, they've got they work with Bella Canvas, all the style, all these, next level, all these nice t-shirts, and nice fabrics that feels good on your body. So visit my store, and you need to start shopping for your family, and start support the movements anyway, and like my channel and subscribe. I have to pay the piper, but anyway, we're just having fun. We're gonna keep it moving. Remember, visit Liz and check out Thomas. His name is Thomas Molan. I think it's Thomas Molan. He is the president for the bank, the World Bank, or something like that. Is something? Thomas is, I think, the president or for the World Bank. So check him out. Just type in World Bank in Google, the presidents, or and you will get the information and listen to what he says about the dollar, because the dollar is important. And then while you're watching the stock market on a daily, you're watching the Dows, the Nasdaq, the Russell, and also while you're watching them, also watch the conversion rate and the exchange rate for even your country. If you're from Mexico, it's like, man, pesos. Why is the peso down? If you're Argentinian, like, why are the pesos down today? And then you can start understanding the US currency, why the British pounds is down. Like, I guess when the economy is so weak, then the dollar gets weak. But I don't know. You have to check it out. If you're, like I said, east, west, north, and south, wherever you're from, when you're watching and investing, also look at your conversion rate for your currency, for your country, and see what's, because it's all about that dollar, this dollar, stocks, and, the money, the growth, and all these are in one basket. So if you're watching the stock market, also, you have to watch the conversion rate of what's going on elsewhere in the world. With if you're from Australia, you have to see how much Australian dollar it takes to buy $1, how much one yang, how much yang it takes. If it's 149 yang it takes to buy $1, or if it's $120. I mean, if it's $1.25 it takes to buy Canadian, it takes to buy $1 American, or if it's $1.37 in the pound sterling, or $1.37 American, it takes to buy £1 sterling, because the pound sterling is a bit stronger. So you kind of understand which dollar is stronger and how much you need to use to buy what dollar. And so, you get to understand the euro, then you get to understand, pesos, rupee, yen, all the different currency. But we keep it moving. Anyway, so one guy you can check out, if you're interested in. His name is Thomas Sowell. I was just watching him a couple nights ago doing promoting his book, I think, and there was just kind of um, picking his brain about, and his book is about wealth, poverty, and politics by Thomas Sowell, an international perspective. So when you get time, you can try to check him out and see if you like what he says, or if it makes any sense to you. So also, for all the hardworking people out there, I thank you all for everything that you do. From the janitor, to the waitress, the waiters, the fireman, the policeman, the construction man, the painter, the housing specialists, a lot of workers, you get overlooked too, the lady that's going to clean a couple of cabins to put, she done drop the kids off on the bus, and now she got to load her van up with her cleaning supplies and go clean a couple of rooms, and you know, and then she got to get done before the bus gets home so she can get the kids. And same thing for the dad that's out there in the summertime using his nail gun to put the roof on whatever building he's working on. So, truck drivers, the old family, the old core, um, you know, just the old core, and we just want to say, we want to acknowledge everyone out there that whether you just you're at the gym, or whether you run a gym and you got to clean it down and put all the equipment back, whether you just in your business and you're just starting out and you got to go from place to place to go set up, and sell your candles or sell your oil on that street on a Saturday or a Sunday. And whether you have to go dig through the flea market to find your stuff or through Goodwill to put your stuff up on Shopify or eBay or whatever, just the core, we just want to say, you know, we are we are all in it together, and we all understand. The doctors, they also do their thing. The nurses, when a newborn baby is born and is not, or she's not breathing well, they got to put it in the incubator, and then that nurse switches over, and it's a more intense watch for that nurse on that night with this newborn baby that's his prematurely born. And so goes out to the nurses, got to stay up all night watching, making sure the temperature's right in the incubator with the baby that's premature, maybe 1 pound 1 ounce, but I don't know. Just we just want to give love to all the core out there. We just call it the core. The core, we call it just the core. We want to give love to the core, and appreciation, but yeah, for all the hardworking guys out there that, going day out to and day in, and, have to get a beer at the end of the day just to settle in on, take it easy, just to relax themselves before they move on to the next task that's at the house waiting for them and stuff like that. So, it's the core, and, we just want to show love. I see this on, I see this thing on, oh, so yes, I will mention about, so once the market gets to doing good again, I mean, once we start able to bounce back from all of this, remember, in the meantime, you can start going to ETFs and checking out the ETFs, and start understanding the different sectors, and you'll understand more what I'm saying, because I pulled up this ETF and I was kind of looking at it. I'm like, okay, it's so they have financial, energy, technology, communication, real estate, health, industry, utility, consumer cyclicals, and basic materials. So I said, okay, financial, what's in financial? So financial service bank, it includes saving, loan, asset management, company, credit service, etc., etc. So on the financial, so okay, you have ETF and you got these sectors in ETF. So remember, you have 11 sectors of the stock market, but then when the ETF also is kind of like a sector. So with the financial sector also has in the ETF. This is not the sector that of the stock market. It's the sectors that's in the ETF, but it's not described like that. It's not described like that. It's not described like it's a sector that's in the ETF, but it could be. But I don't know. But so for financial, so like there's 5 different ones. So for financial service, you've got savings, loan, management, assets, assessment, asset management, company, and credit service. That's in the financial sector of the ETF, which is relative to what is in the financial sector of the sectors of the market. So you have with the financial service, you've got with financial, you've got same thing. You got the loan and stuff like that, financial service and stuff like that. So it is really, you got to just kind of check it out to understand more about it and understand um, how to invest, because it kind of balances out, you know, what they put in the ETF also balances it, balanced out it, so when you invest, your investment is, you know, it's kind of like, it's kind of, I think it's because it's in that way it's hard for you to lose when you get into the ETF. I think maybe, you know, it's maybe it's just a little bit harder for you to lose. It's you have like more gain in it in the ETF possible, you know, because, you know, maybe with energy you're gonna gain, technology you're gonna gain, communication is a gain, healthcare in it is a gain. Industrial probably depends on the time of the year. Utility is gonna gain. Consumer cyclical is gonna gain, and maybe basic material else also is gonna be gained. So I don't I don't know, but maybe one or two may not be in the ETF, may not be doing so well, but all the others will balance out the ETF. But I don't know. My name is Taz. Remember, please visit my website. It's called FRESHTEADESIGN.com. Um, you know, I work with Transfer Express to get my design. I work with Shirt Space when I need to order shirts. So and hoodies. So for this Christmas, go ahead and start ordering through Fresh Tea Design. Some hoodies, and so you know you can get one for your friend, for your family, for your neighbors, the ones you like, the one you don't like. But I don't know. Just support the website. Again, it's FreshTDesign.com. And remember, you can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Snapchat. You can follow me on Facebook. Facebook is Tasman Byfield. You can follow me on Instagram, same thing, Tasman Byfield. Taz underscore BYF. Twitter, Tasman Byfield. Snapchat, Taz hyphen BYF. Um, have a good day. I love y'all. The core, you know, the core, and that's my time. Um, See you next time. My name is Taz again. East, West, North, and South. Have a good day.